Social media is more dangerous for kids than gangs ever were.
And for those of you who woke up scared to be illegal, welcome to the warm waters that skaters have resided in.
If I got them to make a physical Bloom store in Roblox, like I can make it real nice, whatever.
What's up, everybody? Back again. It is time to introduce a new person, Skate Bud. A lot of these people who are skate gurus aren't so knowledgeable at skateboarding as they might think. I'm not the gatekeeper of skateboarding. I'm just a dude who skates. So let's get into it. I don't need to explain anything to you guys. You guys know what I do. I commented on his defense against Ricky's crook grind. I don't think it's a crooked grind. I think Ricky is just baiting everyone. Not in the sense that he's 1,000 IQ, planned all this stuff. I think it started as he knew it would kind of get people upset, but I think he underestimated how much people would get upset by it.
If you want to know where the posers are, look at the people complaining about this crooked grind, doing it because Jenkum website, which calls itself a magazine, told them to go and mince words about the technique. This is after Jenkum changed up the rules not just on Ricky, but also on Kyle, who unlocked the spot and 5-0'd the whole thing. Why does Jenkum keep changing the rules? Maybe they're not skaters.
And I basically responded to Ricky and I just was like, you bugging. For me, I think it's disrespectful to your peers if they do something the correct way and then you kind of shortcut it. In this, I kind of said that, like Brandon Burrell did it traditional. Everybody was doing it traditional. Why couldn't you do it? And his defense is that it's too hard. And I mean, I get that. It looks very hard. No one's saying it's easy. You should have the respect and dignity to do it the correct way, especially if you're doing it in a competition. If you just did it for your own self, fine, do it however you want. But to enter a competition and essentially find a shortcut, that's kind of fucked up. And to me, it's disrespectful to your peers. To say you're skating the spot how it's supposed to be skated doesn't excuse what a crook is. It doesn't change what a crook is, right? We all know what a crook is. So I get you're skating it how the spot's supposed to be skated, but that doesn't change that that's not a crook. And additionally, I'm going to say I understand what Ricky's saying where you crook the other side of the ledge. And that's harder because you have to transfer your weight all the way over onto the other side to pinch it. And that's why he can't pitch it, because it's hard to crook on the other side. I mean, that's I would say a harder feat than to just do a normal crook. Aside from that, this fool responds to me and he says, "You're pretending your words matter though. No skateboarder needs your permission. You are deeply misguided on what skateboarding actually does." Pretending. I don't know. To me, what am I pretending about? Am I pretending what a crook is? I don't think that's pretend. We all collectively, colloquially agree what a crooked grind is. I don't think that's up for debate. I don't think that's pretend. He doesn't want to have an actual conversation about it. Yeah, it's not a crook. You are deeply misguided on what a skateboard does. What does a skateboard do? I think that's more up for interpretation than a crooked grind. What skateboarding does for you. Skateboarding for me is freedom. I work, right? I got a 9 to 5, so I got to do something. I got to be accounted for day in, day out. And skateboarding for me gives me a release. It gives me a chance to get away from all that and kind of be my own self again. Be able to use my imagination. What do you mean it doesn't matter? This shit matters a ton. It's what makes skateboarding skateboarding. To me, it's one of the things that separates the levels within skateboarding. You can do a crook, right? You can do it any way you want, right? But the people who do it correctly are the cream of the crop. You know that. I know that. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Taking control of yourself, not others.
Skateboarding is about taking control of yourself. Skateboarding is not about taking control of other skateboarders.
Okay.
So when Jenkum tells people to go and comment on Ricky's post and tell him that the trick is not what he's saying it is, anyone who's following Jenkum's instruction is following instructions from someone who doesn't understand skateboard culture. And to clarify this, I guarantee you, if any of you people tried to pull this on someone from Menace, if you went to a skate demo and told them, oh, that trick that you said was a crook, it's not a crook, you would get one warning and then you'd get punched in the face. What we're actually dealing with here is people who own skateboards who rely on an authority figure, believing that you can argue with any skateboarder you want if you just have something from an authority figure. Not understanding that any skateboarder who is in control of themselves decides who they do or don't argue with. It doesn't matter if I said it, I don't have to argue.
You can't take control of someone who doesn't want to be taken control. But I like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, bro? Skatebud also goes on to say, you're taking instructions from someone that doesn't understand skate culture when you're arguing a pinch on a crooked grind, which I would say is part of skate culture. So to disregard that and then also say, well, you don't know skate culture, like, what are you fucking talking about, bro? It's literally a crooked grind. Like, if you know what a crooked grind is, you see that and you say, that's not a crook. Even Ricky knew. Ricky stated that, but I don't know why Ricky is dying on this hill and saying, like, oh, well, it should count. No, Ricky, it shouldn't, because the other people did it correctly. And if we don't hold the standard, then you might as well just do a fucking no slide. Because who cares, right? I know that seems outlandish and irrational, but at what point do you just let the standard slip? Especially when other people are upholding those standards. If other people were kind of pinching it, or were kind of doing it the way Ricky was doing it, maybe let that slide. But people were doing crooked grinds down it. It's not controlling someone. It's just upholding the standard. People created things and said, this is the way to do it. You can't do it any other way. Same reason why you can't push Mongo. And it's how you take skateboarding to the next level. Getting punched because I said your nose grind was not a crook. Do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna fucking hold my tongue because you get violent. It's always violence, right? It's always violence. And I can relate because that was me when I was a kid. Violence. You don't agree with me? Violence. And as an adult, it's not violence. It's more, I want to understand. I don't want to fight you. I just want to understand what you're saying, why you're dying on this hill. And instead of maybe talking to me, he just fucking insults me. He's just using skateboarding to support these ideas he has. When you really start talking about something in depth about it, all of these words, these big words he uses, just fade out. They just fall apart. They don't mean anything. Great example is this reel he posted about skateboarding puts us against nature. Damn, he deleted it? Oh, fuck, he deleted it. My
homegirl Jen put up a post recently.
My homegirl Jen, the skate park is not a place to learn. He talks about this a shit ton. And for me, I learned all of my stuff skating at the skate park. How to ride, how to pump, right? All that stuff. Day one for me, I had a Walmart skateboard and I went down the speed ramp. That was my first time really doing something at the skate park, learning. I kind of knew how to ride, but I was not good. Like, I was not doing anything crazy. I barely could go down the sidewalk. And we were going down the ramp and stuff. Skate park is where you learn all that shit. People there who are good. The obstacles are there. It's just the place to learn. It's the obvious place to learn. I don't know what, like, for me, when I hear him talk about that stuff, I just think about skate park etiquette. I always think you're talking about skate park etiquette. You're not talking about beginners getting in your way. You're talking about people not respecting the area. I see that in my local park. There are scooter kids who don't understand the rules of the park. Their parents don't either. The unspoken rules of the skate park, no, not everybody knows that. I would say the majority of people don't know that. And one thing I can agree with him with is, like, skate parks should have signs and stuff that say, like, you need to take this serious. This is not a playground.
Post recently reminding parents
that a skate park is not a place to bring your kids to learn how to skateboard.
Where do you take
You know
them?
why? The same reason why a football field is not a place to bring your kids to learn how to run.
Learn to run. Why? Okay. In school, junior high to be specific, there was this class. It was called PE. You know about it. You probably heard about it. Where did they take you to learn the sports? Because I had to learn baseball against my will. I had to learn football against my will. Where did they teach us? For me, they took us up to the football field. Now, in our defense, it wasn't during a football game, but we did go to the football field to learn how to play flag football. We went to the soccer field to learn how to play soccer. We went to the baseball field to learn how to play baseball. You see what I'm trying to say here? Where do you go to learn skateboarding? The skate park. And the other side to that is, yeah, maybe don't go during peak hours. If you do go during peak hours, maybe don't be in the way. Find somewhere where you can kind of hang off to. But why don't you just say that, skate bud? To me, that's what you're trying to say, but it's also not what you're saying. I get that's what you're implying, but that's not what you're saying. Right here, what you're saying is
Walk, jump, or throw a ball. A football field is a place where a bunch of football players get down and get rough and do football. And a skate park is the same. A skate park is a place where a bunch of skaters get down, get rough, do skating.
yeah, is where skateboarding happens. So that's where you would learn, right?
You learn to skate somewhere safe. You learn how
You learn to skate somewhere safe. You learn to skate somewhere safe. What are you fucking talking about, man?
to ride a board safely somewhere that's not being used by a bunch of busy skaters. The same as you wouldn't take your kids down.
Yeah, okay, just go to the skate park and go somewhere away from everybody. If your parents have never skated, and you don't know anybody that skates, how are you going to know? The only way you're going to know is by going to the skate park and interacting with someone that skateboards, unless you just learn it all by yourself, which is also an option. But the easiest way would just go to the skate park and ask some questions. Yeah, if you go to the rec center and the basketball court is taken, maybe don't maybe don't get on the court and just start playing basketball while these people are in the middle of a game. Same thing for skateboarding. I don't understand why he's trying to say, well, you shouldn't go. And because to me, I don't think that fixes the problem, because the issue he's talking about is kids who come to the skate park and view it as a playground, who have no intention of practicing skateboarding or furthering their skills. They just want to get big airs and get in everybody's way because they just want to have fun. This is just a playground to them. That's not the same thing as someone going to the skate park to learn about skateboarding and evolve their skill. This montage of these kids getting hit, which sucks, but none of these kids are skateboarders. They're all on bikes, they're on scooters, which tells me these kids aren't skaters. These kids aren't even trying to expand their knowledge on the thing they're doing. This is just a playground to them. The playground is just a place of chaos. Kids running into each other, kids just running on everything, jumping on everything. And this is what would happen at a playground. And I will agree with them. Like, their parents should be saying, hey, make sure you're looking around. But anyways, I commented on this and I said, wow, didn't realize those scooter kids were all skaters, because this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, these aren't kids learning to skate. These are just people who are in the way. These are NPCs whose parents probably don't understand skateboarding and don't understand skate park etiquette. So this motherfucker, I say that, I mean, I'm obviously looking for a fight. He fucking comes back, commenting again, thinking you're slick, but demonstrating that you can't make the connection. Hit me, right? Let me tell you, or let me help you. The focus is the kids and their inability to navigate space due to their stage in human development. A state that is universal to all kids regardless of what mode or mobility they use. Basically saying it doesn't matter how old you are, you just don't understand what's going on. We'll talk about that. Mio, myopically, but you would be myopically obsessed with what type of wheels they're riding, pretending you have a reason to add your very low value opinion. Ouch! Restricted you now. You have a public profile, so I reply. But you've been barking so many times, and you got nothing to add to the conversation. What? He's focusing on kids and their inability to identify the area, right? Kids don't have the mental capacity to identify or to essentially keep their head on a swivel and look out for everybody else, for the people really using the park. And I do think, yeah, a little bit, obviously, but I do think kids can learn. Kids are like sponges. If you just tell them, hey, bro, I'm gonna go. Can you just watch out, please? Please. Most kids I've met will say, okay, I will look out for you. And I'll say, okay, I'm gonna look out for you too. Kids aren't so so naive that you can't tell them something. Kids want to learn and they want to be respected and they want to be seen. So I mean, all you have to do is just take time. Even these little babies, it might be annoying to say, hey man, you know, don't want to hurt you. If you could please just look out for me, I'll look out for you too. And if he says fuck you, then I mean, say, all right, man, I don't want to hit you, but if that happens, I mean, I guess that's what happens, right? And if their parent comes over yapping it up, say, hey man, this is a skate park, right? There are a lot of things happening. I'm really trying to look out for your kid, but I'm only limited to what I'm able to see. And this is a skate park. It's a very busy place. A lot of things are happening. I can't always keep my head on a swivel to ensure that your kid's okay. I want to make sure everybody's okay, but that might not always happen because even veteran skaters run into people sometimes. It's very hard. It's very hard. A lot of action. But the majority of kids just don't know and they just need to learn. We all learned and they can learn too. Hate skaters. Talk shit about skaters. Stop people from skating. Old skater.
What if it was just a place to jump on things and jump over things? And what if a skate park wasn't in the corner of the park? And what if it was in your neighborhood or downtown where you go shopping for stuff? And what if I told you that that's not where skateboarding came from? It's not from the skate parks. It's actually from those downtown places where it's not.
Interesting. I just think it's really weird how we said no ramps. It's just stuff you hop on. And my generation, kind of like 2010s, that's what kind of when I started. A little bit before that, but my peaks was like 2010s onward. For me, after I picked up skateboarding, a lot of it shifted where a lot of people weren't just skating street or transition. They were skating a mixture of both. For me, when I hear people like only street, I don't really like that because my favorite type of skating is everything. I like to hit the quarter pipe now, hit a rail. And it's something I've always admired about skateboarding is when someone can just do endless lines, skate a little bit of everything.
Social media is more dangerous for kids than gangs ever were because at least gangs taught them about follow through, communication, and organization, whereas social media and an online life just leaves these kids believing that everything is hopeless, nothing has any meaning, and it's not worth it to actually commit to a relationship with people because you can just unfollow them and block them. The result is actually much bigger than kids, though. We have an entire society of people that's not even prepared to commit to difficult conversations, negotiating, and collaborating anymore.
Afraid to have difficult conversations. From you, that's rich.
Modeled for these kids is to find an extreme belief and then argue about it with everyone who doesn't agree with you and only affiliate with people who do agree with your extreme opinion. And guess how isolated that
Crazy projection
has left everybody. Do you feel it? And what is a gang? A club that's out there in the world. And if there's one group of people who has consistently proven that we can turn wastelands into beautiful places to play, it's skateboarders in America.
Yes. Yeah, gangs totally don't fucking destroy people. Like, how dense are you, bro? A gang's just a club. That's new to me. Yeah, it's just a harmless club. Yeah, they're notoriously known for just being close-knit clubs. People lose their lives to gangs, bro. It's for life. When you get jumped into a gang, it's for life. You're like, what are you fucking talking about? It's really irresponsible. That's like to even say that because gangs obviously known for violence and all the bad things they do. You have 40K followers. you get on here and talk about how gangs are less dangerous than social media. I don't know about that, big dog. And I see this happening more and more with skating. People get online and talk about their thoughts and they're fucking dumbasses. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.